Hey everybody, how are you doing? I'm driving, as you can tell, but very slowly. By the way, if you notice, I'm kind of shifted. I'm this way instead of this way. Shout out to you, Holly, for telling me that I'm supposed to put my camera not vertically but horizontally. Did you guys know that? I had no idea. I guess because the way it shows up, then you don't see the black lines on each side, but hey, we learn something from everybody each day, which is kind of cool. That's why I love social media. Something popped in my head today when I was driving. I spent a lot of time in the car, listening to music. I'm sure you've seen my music videos, and just, thinking about things, and just thinking about life in general and what I'm going through, what my friends are going through. I mean, as most of you guys know, I wear my heart on my sleeve. I share everything in hope that I can inspire you and motivate you too, and we can commiserate together, so to speak, right? So when I ask you a question, if I'm not looking, because I'm keeping my eyes on the road and being a safe driver, right? All right, so for example, like in my life, I'm just going to use me as an example because obviously that's what I can relate to right now, with my grandmother and everything, and worried about my mom and our friend and everything. When I initially heard all of this with my grandma and everything, I was like almost to the point of paralysis. And then once I realized that it was out of my hands as far as it happening, I was able to come to grips and be the support that my family needed. Do you find that? I find that in life, if we can just get over that initial shock and kind of swallow it, and then come up and formulate a plan of action, that we're better for everybody around us. It really, causes us less stress and angst, at least for me. I know that once I am able to process what's going on, it's much easier to handle everything. Like, for example, with my son, Josh. Again, most of you know this, but he presents with severe ADHD and Asperger's. I have twins, another son too, who actually happens to be gifted. He's at Williams College up in Williamstown. Oh, there's a puppy here. I don't want to. Oh, cute little doggies. Why aren't they on leashes? Oh, they're adorable. Oh, they're so cute. Anyways, sorry, to get back on point. With my sons, and when they were very young, I think about 1 or 1.5, we took them to, both of them, to the psychologist to get evaluated, just to make sure that everything was okay. Well, Drew obviously was fine. He happens to be gifted. And Josh was presented with all of these different autistic-like behaviors and hyperactivity, but not really. Well, when they told me that he had pervasive developmental disorder, I'm like, say what? And I was just, the tears started flowing. I'm like, what? He can't have that. There's no way. How can he have that? He's fine. He's just a little hyper. But then I started seeing, I was able to process that, and I started seeing over time that things were getting worse, and that I really needed to do something about it. So then we went to doctors, and I did therapy. If I tell you, therapy after therapy, between nuking, that's this little pointed thing that you put in the mouth for the sensory, to brushing, to wearing a heavy vest. And it just became part of my life, like brushing your teeth, right? I was able to handle it. I was kind of numb to it. Some days I would break down, but knowing what it was and then formulating a plan helped me to get over the fact and come to terms that, hey, I have a son who's on the autistic spectrum. It's just the way it is. And I don't want to sound harsh, but that was the way for me to deal with it. Does that make sense? Oh, hi, Joanne. Hi, Stella. I don't know who else is on. I can't see. Shouldn't look, right? So, I hope that helps you. I know that a lot of us, especially in my age group, are dealing with, family, friends that aren't doing well. They're sick, in the hospital, whatever. If we can just breathe and realize we can't change that, but we can change the way we react, and that way we can better help them and help ourselves.